It's literally blinding. One moment. Better? Okay. Yeah, no, it's so. The sun is out, man. She is bright today. It's crazy. It's so fucking light outside. Good morning. I saw that in the preview. I was like, wow, you literally can't even see my nose. Good morning. Am I deaf in one ear? No. No. Okay. Anyways, good morning. Welcome to the classiest place on earth. Happy Tuesday. Hope you're all doing well. Last day before Turkey Day, before we drive off to Montana. Are you loud? You're loud. Turn down. Turn down for what? Montana. Yeah, that's where Zach's family's from. We're both rednecks. We're both dirty white rednecks from the middle of nowhere. Yeah. He's from Billings, which is literally like closer to Kettle Falls than Seattle. It's so weird. But yeah, we both kind of grew up in the sticks. We have super similar childhoods of like living on native reservations and shit like that. But yeah, his family is actually neither of our families really do much for holidays, so we normally don't go anywhere, but this year they decided to do Thanksgiving, so we're like we can pop up for a couple days. It's weird to like I think it's a US thing because there's very few countries in the world where you can just hop in your car and drive for 8 hours straight and not, need a border crossing or something, but it's like I've driven to Burning Man so many times that is a 16-hour drive both ways that the 8 hours feels like a sneeze. Like, I'm actually kind of excited. I'm like, man, I'll get through a couple music albums. This is great. 8 hours is nothing. That's halfway. Bad day. Boo, Crispy. Hopefully we can play more Borderlands 2 today. Good morning, Gluck. Good morning, Missile. Good morning, Rage. Good morning, Allie. Good morning, David. Good morning, Rod. Good morning, Hello to Vol. Good morning, Allie. I hope you're all doing well. Hank Green told a story about flying back to Missoula, Montana, and said that it's such a small town, he'll always know at least one person on a flight in there. He ran into 3 people that offered him rides from the airport. I can't. I mean, where I grew up so small, you don't get an airport, so I can't fathom that. But yeah, it's pretty fucking small. I thought The Hills Have Eyes wasn't based on anything in America, but actually Scottish history about cannibalism. That's looking real deep into The Hills Have Eyes. I wouldn't look too hard into that one. That John Bellion album is so fucking good. I was actually thinking about it this morning, and I just rushed my music. Hold on. If you guys remember, you'll know it. There's one of the songs on there. Literally, no shit, last night, Zach was watching the movie with us, and he had it on in the bedroom, and during the break, you put on the John Bellion album, and the Guillotine song came on, and Zach was like, just kind of looked at me. I'm like, so we all have similar tastes. Stop giving me a hard time. It's a good album. Don't judge me. I'm downloading the album onto my phone. It's smart, honestly. Being able to drive 8 hours, very few breaks, and only be a state away. Isn't that weird? And really, there's not a lot of places to break, which is bizarre because it's Wyoming. Like, if memory serves me right, I think I only stop once in Wyoming. There's one place I stop on my way up there that's a gas station, like truck stop, and it's huge, but there's not a lot in Wyoming at all. It's just driving, just like that long in the car would kill me. Dude, I grew up on car ride. I grew up in a car. I feel like I just like road trips constant, at least 3, 8+ hour road trips a year. So I'm super used to, like, I just put on good music, roll the windows down, dude, and I love it. I love driving my Jeep, which helps. I don't know if I could ride in a car for 8 hours. That would drive me crazy, but I like driving. Apparently, dealers go full on fucking feral right before the holidays. I legit had someone open a case with the following, ugh. It's probably because they all want to go home and they can't till it's fixed or something. Yeah, it takes 6 hours to get out of Florida, so 8 isn't too outlandish. No shit, when I drove from Baltimore to Savannah, I want to say that was only like 9 hours. Only though, like I've just done I've also driven across the entire United States twice. So like my scope of what a long drive is skewed. But like I lived on the eastern side of Washington State and my whole family was on the west side and that's a 6-hour drive. And so we would have to drive over for every single holiday. I just grew up like get a good book and chill out, relax, like recline your car. It's the best. There's a reason the Romans never conquered Scotland. Is there? Is it because of cannibalism? Sonny Bean, a Scottish clan leader who was responsible for the murder and cannibalism for over 1,000 people. Did you know that Germany has the highest rate statistically of voluntary cannibalism in the world? I hate that I just know that, but we're all hearing it, right? My Amazon app was warning me show it's going to get delayed being delivered. Whatever, it's just snow. Wyoming, the least populated state in the country. Is it? I believe it. There's no people. That long on the road would kill me, says a guy who 20 years ago was on a bus from Paris to Barcelona. Jesus Christ. Although the fact I was sitting next to a girl the whole time probably helped. That probably helped. I mean, company helps. Longest I've ever been in a car was 15 hours from my house in Indiana to Oklahoma for a wedding. That's a long drive. The longest I did was across the country. Definitely. From Seattle to Baltimore, that was long. I had to sleep in hotels. That was a long fucking drive. Yes, I mean, hell DeVol, seriously, driving, like, the main highway up through Wyoming, I only see, like, 2 towns total. Like, buildings. I'm not saying, like, there's genuinely not even just a random house or a random, like, farmhouse in the middle of the fields. It's just fields and fields and fields. It's very Kansas-like, but with mountains. Like, you've got a mountain range on your left or on your right, depending on which direction you're driving. Other than that, it just goes on and on and on, and there's just nothing. I mean, the last time I went through Wyoming, I think I told you guys this story. This is how white Wyoming is. We stopped at a truck stop, and some very road heart, put away wet, leather skin old man was like, "Where are your people from?" And I was like, Jesus Christ, we have to leave. What the fuck? That's Wyoming in my experience. It's a drive-through. Have you had German food? Dude, Schweinehaxen? Delicious. It could have been human. I don't know. It is consensual. You're not wrong. No shit, Alexis. I've seen a couple documentaries on it. Like, it's not like Germans have a habit of eating each other. It's just for some reason, auto-cannibalism or voluntary cannibalism is very popular in Germany. I don't know why. I watched it this morning, Mike, and it's so fucking good. Oh my god. I watched it this morning while I was getting ready. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna load it again. It's really good. I love it because it's fun to watch voice actors. Like, when you're watching the voice actor for Blitzo, like, he acts it all out while he's doing the voice acting, and I feel like I do that shit, and I can't not do that. I'm very, like, body involved, and I dig that. Like, it's cool to see. That's what you do, CK. You smoke and you know things. Yeah, I know the most random. You know what's sad though is like the things that I know are never going to be on Jeopardy. It's never going to be auto cannibalism for 300, Alec. My sister's great at Jeopardy. Unfortunately, I know the dark side of Jeopardy. I hear human feet has a lot of gristle. I wouldn't want to eat a foot. I mean, Schweinehaxen has a lot of fucking gristle. It was a weird thing, but I'd definitely eat it. Why? Do you not normally sleep in hotels, Katie? To be real with you, I usually stop at a truck stop, sleep in my car for 3 hours, and keep going because I'm a cheap bitch. That's it. Like, the whole sleep thing, it's just like a road bump. I'm like, oh god, you gotta get out of the car and get in a hotel and fucking, like, sleep. I'd rather just get it over with, just nap somewhere and go. Like, when I went from Baltimore to Colorado, I did not sleep in a hotel. We just slept at a truck. Eliza and I did our darndest to nap-ish at a truck stop. Like, we couldn't even recline our seats because my car was so full of all my stuff because I was moving. So we were just upright, like, it was humorous. No shit, IT Crowd even did an episode about Germans and cannibalism. Wow. I didn't know that. I mean, I saw the IT Crowd years ago. I haven't seen it for years. I used to do the drive from Aurora, Colorado to Montana, and it was a day total. Yeah, it's literally just a day. It's easy drive. It's just straight. Like I have I have a stick shift. I drive a manual, and I can put it in cruise. I just put it in cruise control. It's great. I'll take classical memes for Hellenistic teens, Alex. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, you and I know the history of like Greek myths and who ate each other's children and all of that, but that's never going to be on there. Me too, Mag, same. Because it's not just sleeping. It's not like you just walk into a room, sleep, get up, and go. It's a whole process, and it just takes time, and I'm impatient. Like, I'm a get to my destination person. Look up Armin Muse. He's the German guy who was sent to prison for eating. Oh, I know him. Yeah, I know. I've listened to a lot of podcasts. That's literally, I was just talking about them the other day, I think. He's the one who all of his neighbors to this day straight up are like, he's one of the most trustworthy people I've ever known, and I'd let him take care of my children. He wouldn't eat my children. He only wants to eat people that want to be eaten. He wouldn't touch me or my kids. Like, it's one of the most bizarre documentaries on murder, I guess, that I've ever watched, read, listened to in my life. Very nice person. Yeah, this guy, Armin, was apparently one of the most pleasant people you'd ever know in your life. To this day, like, in prison, convicted of cannibalism, and the person he cannibalized died. All of his neighbors to this day are like, he's the nicest person. He should come back. I'd let him watch my kids. He's great. Germany is different. But to each their own. To each their own. No shit, Nick. One of my snakes actually got out on that drive. Like, all of my animals, there's a way you pack animals when you drive so they're all safe. You basically put a bunch of towels and paper towels in a box, put your snake in there, your snake wipe wraps themselves around all the paper towels, and then you tape the box shut, obviously with air holes and stuff, but it keeps them all snug so they can't rattle around. And one of my Midna, my ball python, busted the lid of hers, got out, and when we, like, went to unpack the car, she was not in her box. She was just wound up in my stuff. There was nowhere she could go. She was literally just coiled up in some of my clothes. It was pretty hilarious, though. I feel as you get random knowledge is my jam. For example, a 747 has about 150 miles of wiring in it. I know that, but I have to write down phone numbers because I forget them. I cannot identify with that stronger. It's upsetting. Good morning, Kozo. I hope you're doing okay, Honeybean. How are you feeling? I'm always angry about trivia shows asking questions about current celebrity X in the baby questions category. Why the fuck would I know anything about these assholes? I'm almost checked out of trivia at this point because it's so much of like Jeopardy and stuff ends up with like celebrity stuff or things about famous people that I don't know and I don't follow any of them, and I'm just like not in that anymore. Former crush Christmas presents to go. Oh my god, you're a machine. You're a machine. Germany's the mecca of bizarreness along with Japan. You gotta wonder why, though. Because there's, like, nothing special. I'm not meaning that in a diss, but, like, there's nothing special about Germany. There's lots of countries around that area that are landlocked, etc. But, like, how come Germans want, like, for some reason, more Germans than other places in the world want to eat people? I don't know. I went to Prague, and they had a torture museum that had all this, like, ancient tortured stuff, I guess you could say. It was crazy. A lot of it wasn't real, and they would, like, state that, you know, like, these are all, like, the Iron Maiden and shit like that. But, yeah, Prague was pretty wild, too. Just less people. Like, there's so few people in my experience. Like, Prague was very barren, except in the cities. People don't really live out in the country, in my experience. That's my experience. Can't generalize that. It's got lakes, but it doesn't touch... Oh, Baltic Sea. Baltic Sea. Boom, you're right. See, I don't know then. Yeah, why Germany? Why? Like, it doesn't... Like, I know a couple Germans. They're not eating people that I'm aware of. Like, they're fun. They're different, but they're not... they're not eating people. She was like, right, I'm done with this box, literally. She was out. Good morning, Najia. How are you? Oh, David, you'll have to tell us how it is. I've been so out of the loop of TV for everything. Looks like it's from a movie showing the hyperbole of media brain rot. Yes. I'm either feeling okay or just numb. I'm not really sure. The same. It's like, am I getting better or am I just adjusting? How do we know? Same, just trugging along. They were isolated from the world for millennia and opened up the country less than 200 years ago. That honestly is true. Yeah, I read a book about that actually. It was very, very interesting. Good morning, Berserker. I hope you're doing well, Honeybean. I went to the St. Augustine a couple years ago and went through the torture museum. Oh no shit, watched my mom go through it was hilarious. My mom wouldn't go in it with me. Good morning, Orby. Me and my friend Laurel went through it, and literally the rest of our group just stood outside while we went through the torture museum. They're like, nah, we don't want to see that. I was like, really? We're in Prague. Like, when the fuck else are you coming to the Czech Republic to see a fucking torture museum that no shit shared a wall with a 24/7 club? Like, at 7 a.m. you'd see people pouring out of this, like, disco club, and it was walled up against it. It was hilarious. But, like, who wouldn't? I have to see it. Is it just me or is it an aftertaste? With weed, some weed, absolutely. I mean, some weed, no shit, makes me feel like I've got pepper on my tongue. Like black pepper. Not spicy, but just like that weird, like, like I've got black pepper. It's all about the terpenes. So, like, if your weed ever actually comes with the breakdown of the terpenes on it, if you see something on there called pepperine, pepperine is a terpene that will make it taste spicy or peppery. Limonene or something like that will make it be citrusy. Like, there's all sorts of terpenes, and that's what leads it to smelling like lime, lemon, or piss, or gas, or whatever. It's all strain specific. I've had some strains that literally make my lips go numb when I smoke it, like just a little bit, just like that weird, like I've got Novocaine on or something. It's strain specific, man. I have no idea. Migraine, boo. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that's bummer. Boo. Getting cookie, really interesting. I don't know if I've ever had a strain that had cookie. I find that tends to go along with countries that are a bit uptight. Oh, you think it's like the refractory of like, we're proper and uptight and we wear slacks and we tuck our shirts in, but also we love to rip our butts open. Like that? Like lady in the streets, slut in the sheets, or whatever that saying is. Germany? I mean, I don't know if all cannibalism in Germany that I've read about or whatever has been sexually focused, but that Armin guy straight up ate the dick of his partner. Like, that was the first thing that they wanted to do, was chop his dick off, saute it while he's alive, and eat it together. I don't know if it's 100% sexual, though. I don't know. The cookies that it reminds me of is the Subway cookie. Oh, really? So, like, artificial cookie. I wonder. I take indica for sleep. Lady really sold it, saying it's called indica because it makes you feel like you're into couch. That's quite literally what indica. So, like, are you buying it from, like, a dispensary, Kaylee? Because no shit. It's actually fascinating. I've learned so much from the dispensary people that are in my community and stuff, people that actually work in the industry. But essentially, like, back in the 70s and 60s and whatever, THC and weed was absolutely sativa and indica, in that sativa didn't put you to sleep and indica laid you out in the couch. Nowadays, if you're buying it from a recreational dispensary, the vast majority of weed you're buying literally has had every ounce of CBD bred out of it. So there's no sleepy affect to weed anymore. Like, you have to purposely be like, I want some weed with CBD in it, and they'll find you a specific strain with CBD in it, but we bred all the CBD out because none of us want to get sleepy. It's crazy. So good for you for talking to your dispensary person, because they're the best. They will give you the right, like, they will lead you in the right direction. I love bud tenders. I highly suggest everybody, if you're, like, don't know what you're doing, just go to the dispensary and ask. Bud tenders are literally horned up happy to talk to you about weed. They're so excited. They're amazing. They're so helpful. They don't want you to have a bad time. They're not upselling you to get you to buy more or more expensive stuff. They want you to have a good experience. I've had that experience with bud tenders across the board. They're just the nicest people. Tomorrow, Robo. Today's Tuesday, right? Yeah. They're total nerds for weed. They're amazing. He couldn't chew it off, so they had to stop and retry. His meal guy was disappointed and almost left when he couldn't do it. It's true. It's true. It's kind of wild. I'm trying a few to get some good strains for anxiety. Same lady is usually there, and she's a gem. Seriously, same bud tender for me too, and I love him. He's so nice. Berserker, I'm excited for you. Been abstaining. I mean, that makes sense. I've done that. The longest tea breaks I've ever taken is because I'm getting a job. We all got to do it. I want to know enough to work at a dispensary. It sounds like the only retail job I would enjoy as a cashier. You'd probably love it. I mean, no shit. This was granted, back when weed was very first legalized in Washington State, but I had a couple friends who went to go work at dispensaries. And like the way that their orientation was being sent home with a chest of every strain in the weed shop and being told they need to try it all. Can you imagine? Like, here's a sample, here's a nug of every weed in the shop. Learn how it feels. Fucking give me that job, right? Now she's a manager of multiple, and she's like doing really well. She got in the game early on. She's doing really well, but like, that's, you got to know how everything affects, I guess. It's crazy. Oh my God, Bia Bean, happy birthday! I almost burp happy birthday you. Hold on. Happy birthday, happy birthday. This is your day to have a lot of fun. We're waiting for the celebrating. This is your day. So happy birthday to you. Ooh. Happy 28. I feel like 27 is the age where my personality finally evened out, and I felt like I wasn't waking up a different person every day anymore. Or like, you know, when people are like, don't worry, you'll grow into it, or don't worry, it'll come with age. Like at 27, I was like, you can't say that to me anymore. I think I've done it. I think I'm pretty much exactly the same as I was when I was 27. I feel like that's the day. So you've officially made it a years yourself. How do you feel? That's what we did as trimmers. We literally learned everything. I appreciate that as a consumer. I want to know I can trust you because you learned everything. Thank you for doing that, bud tenders, etc. Seriously, that's amazing. Happy birthday, love. I hope you eat something delicious. Well, it's consistently chaotic though, VR. That's what I would say. I'm maybe it's more of a case of when I was 27, I finally was like, you know what? I'm a weirdo who wears a lot of black, owns a lot of spiders, dyes her hair pink, and that's probably going to be who I am the rest of my life, and that's okay. I think 27 is just when that happened. There's that fucking sun again. I think that was it. Because I'm still chaotic. Like, God, look at me. I'm still a fucking mess. But, like, I became at peace with it. Maybe. Maybe that's the term I'm looking for. Like, I just am like, you know what? That's fine. Seriously, BB, I've thought, like, I've said 27 for years. I mean, I'm 36, which is gross. But you know what I mean? Like, looking back on it, I'm pretty sure that was about the age where it was like, I kind of just settled and stopped trying to be something else or stopped thinking about, like, when I grow up, I'm just like, you know what? I'm grown up. This is it. But I'm okay with that. It could always be worse. This could be worse. I'm fine. Despite the joint nerve pain from turning 33, has been my favorite mood adjustment. Fuck yeah. I don't have the brain capacity to entertain bullshit anymore. That's definitely part of it. Yes. Entertaining it, catering to it, like, you know, buying into the bullshit or just nodding and smiling around people because you want to keep everyone happy. Late 20s is where I was like, yeah, I don't really give a fuck about that anymore. The people that like me will like me. For me, I don't need to pretend to be anything else. Like, why? I've talked to you guys about that before, but like, putting on that weird air of like, well, I'm an adult now. I'm a respiratory therapist. I work in a professional environment. Everyone around me is married and having kids, and they're very adult. Now it's time for me to do that and do the beige house and the white couch and do all that. Like, I was very like, that's what you're supposed to do because that's what everybody did. I was living around doctors, nurses, everybody who like, that's what you do. And it took like 5 years where I was like, that's just not me. That's never going to happen. Like, if I go furniture shopping, the red velvet, like, Victorian fucking thing is always going to get my attention over some beige piece of shit. Always. And that's just me, but that's okay. And I'm at peace with that. Rub on your titties! Cheers. I found 20 to 30 was so much relationship drama. Very much so, and I think that's a lot of you figuring out who you are. 31 right now, I've been pretty meh so far. I feel like I don't know, there's no, like, age I'd say is my favorite so far. It's all okay. I don't feel any different. physically or anything from any other age. I'm just kind of am. I don't care much about style for furniture. I want function and comfort. Me too, but I definitely want a house that looks like the Munsters. I follow these accounts on Instagram that are called Save This House, and it's like people selling churches, cathedrals, houses near graveyards, like just bizarre pieces of property that normal people don't want to deal with. My dream is to buy a cathedral and just turn it into my streaming zone where we can just hail Satan with that echo chamber all day. Can you imagine? But these houses literally sell for like 100,000 in the US because they're weird. They're not houses, but you can make them a house. But they're like weird properties like schools and shit that people that have just gone under and you can buy for super cheap. It's a dream someday when I'm rich and famous. Oh, I love that. Are you okay? You look like you have a cold. Yeah, allergies. What are you allergic to? Bullshit. You must be miserable. Good morning, Momo. I hope you're doing well, honeybean. Good morning, Tragic. Your brain isn't fully developed until 28, so it makes sense. If it takes until then to feel settled, I completely believe that. Yeah, there's something about like it kind of not having to grow anymore. The stories I have from my 20s, mostly from dating, compared to my 30s, same. I think because we're just willing to put up with a lot more shit, and when you're, like, at least when I was in my 20s, I had no idea what I wanted. Like, I didn't know what I was looking for in a partner, and I didn't know how to be a partner. We're children. We know how to be children. I think your 20s are learning how to be a partner if that's what you want. It's learning how to do that, you know? In a survey, elderly people were asked what their favorite decades were. Almost all of them said their 60s, and each previous decade was worse in their memory. Really? I'm glad I don't have that. But to be fair, I feel like most of my adult life has just been chaos. Most of my life, like politically, world, otherwise. I don't really remember like a moment where the world was like, wow, we're all feeling great. It seems the newer generations are becoming more like me. What do you mean? The Godzilla song didn't summon knives? What the fuck? He's probably working. People work. That's quite common here, converting church and stuff. I love that. I think that's such a good idea. Why not? They're beautiful. That stained glass and shit. You don't have to be religious to enjoy the art and turn it into something else. I feel like I started to be who I am at 28. I'm 32 now, and I feel so much better about myself. Same. Yeah. I don't know what it is about that, like, end of 20s, but I think, like, most of your 20s are putting up with bullshit, trying to be what people tell you you're supposed to be, and then by the end of your 20s, you're like, no. I'm good. I think I'll just be me. Thanks, though. Dude, Race, isn't it fucking great, though? Man, it was wild playing all of BL1 and then just playing like an hour of BL2 yesterday. Just the improvements in the game. How much more fucking story and dialogue is already there versus the first one where it was just like pop-ups, reading it, listening to a few things here or there. Like, you still got a story, but the fucking second one is just so good. Dude, St. Louis has churches for sale as residents, and that would be a dream, not just in St. Louis. I want to live my dream as a forest tag that deals out with same wishes in exchange for something precious to be determined at a later date. Same. No shit, I found this really old house that was like on the border of a graveyard, and that's all I could think about was like, I would just hang out. Like, I am that weirdo that would be like, graveyards are cool. I used to have like an old graveyard in the backyard of my house in Maryland. It wasn't on my property, but it was just like you know, public property, whatever, right there. I could just walk 20 feet to it. It was so cool. But definitely, yeah, that's it. That's that. I'm aiming for the same shit. Chronicle, maybe that's who you are, is just a constantly redefining, finding new adventures kind of person. Like, maybe that's what you settle into. I know that doesn't make anything better, but I've done a lot of like thinking on that shit. Like, there's no right way to settle out. It's so fucking trite, but there's a really, really good quote from one of my favorite songs / spoken word thing, the Sunscreen song. I love the Sunscreen song, no shade. There's a really good line in it where he says, like, some of the most interesting people I know have no idea what they're going to do at 40, and some of the most interesting people I've ever met still have no idea at 60 what they're going to do with their life. And I think about that sometimes because it always rings true over and over and over. Over and over and over. They're simply the most interesting people in the world, and it's just, that's the kind of person, sometimes they're just people who redefine themselves Oh, like, and find new adventures and find new challenges to constantly summit or whatever. I think that's cool in itself. I mean, it doesn't make, I'm not trying to be like, you should be grateful, you little bitch, but you know what I mean? Nobody's perfect. Whatever that is. One of my older brother's best friends bought an old church here in Austin, turned it into a recording studio. I love that. I think that's the coolest thing. Why not? I hate destroying old buildings that are still in perfectly good condition to put up cheaply made developments. That's a huge, I will never live in a development, ever. Lives down the road from an old chapel. I'm jealous. The graveyards used to be parks to visit, very much so. Yeah, I know. People used to have picnics in them and shit, and just, like, spend time with their loved ones. Me too. I would take care of them. I'd be that, like, in my long, flowy batik skirts. I'd be out there sweeping gravestones and my long, scraggly gray hair all over me, just like, hello, 100%. Would you like a spell? My last date was 6 years ago. We shared a meal and talked about how we were done with societal expectations, agreed on the state of society, bitched about the guy who set us up. We had so much in common. There was no second date. What the fuck? I love the sunscreen song. Oh my god. No shade. Well played. Well played. I didn't even realize I said that. That's pretty good. A line from a Green Day song. Realize all my doubts were someone else's point of view. Shit like that sticks with me. Don't read beauty magazines. They will only make you feel ugly. Truth. A line from Green Day song. Realize all my... I mean, adventures... Think about some people who literally graduate in 4 years, get married, have kids, find one job, and never change for the next 60 foreseeable years of their life. Like, that to me sounds like hell, but that's heaven for somebody. Like, just settling out, figuring it out, and then just drifting. That's, to somebody, very appealing. I couldn't. And I feel you might be the same. Like, we just won't. We're not that type of person. It's just not going to happen. I'm always going to be this. Probably. Just eclectic. Weird. But I'm fine with that. My 40s is the decade that I finally take care of myself. I'm 40 now. Still needed to find a good therapist. It's hard. It's so hard to find a good therapist, but so worth it. And I encourage you, if you're shopping for therapists and you have an appointment with one and you do not feel a connection, please find a new one. There's so many therapists out there. Like, you're literally interviewing them for a job you're going to pay them to do for you. You take the power in this instance. Like, definitely find someone you click with because it's just going to be better. It's worth this. It's worth the search, I guess. I'm sure the local church would love me to take care of their yard, but I'm not a big fan of graveyards. I think graveyards are cool, but like, I have so much death in my family and none of them are in graveyards. It's weird. I feel like I can go to graveyards and I don't get to see anyone who died. It's bizarre, so I kind of, like, I'm jealous a little bit. That being said, graveyards are a huge waste of land. I don't understand, but they're cool. Hello, Marie. How are you, love? I appreciate you, being. My chat just is doing... Is Twitch being twitchy for anybody else today? Ooh! Thank you, Glut. That's such a fucking good resource. Take this. Hold on. Sport mental health awareness. I love this. Does this help you find therapists? Is that what this... I've never seen this resource before. This is amazing. My nose itches. I feel like I'm getting a zit. Right there. Yes! Oh, this is sick. Oh, Glut. This is so cool. You should click that link. Take this org. What a fucking good resource. Kliss? Twitch has been twitchy for a week, I feel like. What up, Young? How are you, love? Yeah, never waste your time with therapists that isn't for you, because it's just not going to work either way. Well, Tragic, that's what I want. I want, like, Colorado's one of the very few states that actually does that. But Colorado does, I don't know if it's called a green burial here, but it's where they basically take your body and put you in a capsule with a bunch of dirt and sticks and branches and shit and all the bacterias, and they put you in a temperature-controlled, capsulated, like, space where the temperature is, like, warm and perfect, and basically compost your body in under 4 months. I'm pretty sure it's under 4 months. It's crazy. Like, you become compost, completely 100% compost, and then they plant you with a tree in you and give you to your family. I want that. Not that I'm gonna have any family because I don't have any kids, but like I'd rather be a tree. There's not gonna be anyone to go to my grave. I don't give a fuck about that. Put me in a make me something, that does something. We put a little dirt under our pillow for the Rod Man in case he comes to town. My family did go from where they came from, Ireland to Gloucester. A lot of my ancestors have gravestones in Gloucester, and that's where all my family is. Gloucester and New York. All over New York. But Massachusetts and Gloucester, and Massachusetts and Gloucester, Katie? Massachusetts and New York. I have a shit ton of gravestone family members out there. It's crazy. Like, I went out there a couple times when I was in college just for, like, spring break trips, and I would literally just tour graveyards and found, ancestors of mine. That was pretty cool. Depending on where you live, the state will pay you to take care of the graveyard on the property you buy and own. It's neat. That is so cool, because why not? I had the perfect date and stopped it right there. We agreed that we would stay friends, but the fact that we had nothing to argue about made us a terrible couple. Oh, shit. I had someone tell me that when I was in a relationship in college. They were like, why not? You guys have never had a fight ever in your entire relationship? I was like, no, we've been together for years, never had a fight. And they're like, where's your passion? And I was like, fuck. That one hit. Pretty much decided when I die, I want something illegal done with my body. Cast me in a latex mold of a shark character and put me in a glass box on a furniture in a kink gear. I reject the ground. That's amazing. You could have a sky burial where just vultures pick off your body till you're gone. That'd be sick. It is. I feel like it's a waste. I would never say, how dare you bury a loved one and want somewhere to go to remember them. But I wish we had a better way to go about it. Wants to be a fruit tree for years down the road. People can eat the fruit. Oh my God. Can I be an apple tree? I would be the most Cinny McSinfuck apple tree ever. Will one of you come back as a snake and sit on my tree, please? Please? I'd literally fling apples at bitches' heads like, you fucking dumb cunt. Lunge! I'm into that. I like this. I like this plan. Yes. No shit, I'm Year of the Dragon. Get this. So we're in the Year of the Dragon right now. The next time it's a Year of the Dragon, I'm going to be 48. This is my last birthday year until I'm like almost 50, and that's wild to conceptualize. What up, penis, my love? How are you? I feel like I'm more picky about peaches than I am apple. Apples are more consistently delicious. Peaches, every once in a while, I'm like, the fuck? Or, you know what it is, Rod? I can't stand fruit with fuzzy skin. I love nectarines. I think, isn't a nectarine like the non-fuzzy peach? No shit. Oh my God, was that fun? I watch that shit on Instagram all the time. I love watching people do that. I just ordered 2 shirts, Awaken, The Night Mother in purple because Joker colors, and Dark Ritual. Fuck yes. Bless. I'm excited. My local church was built in 1157 AD. Wow. It's old as fuck. But the barrows up on the hill where I chill were built around 1200 BC. See, that is some of the sickest thing about traveling the world. The sickest things about traveling the world is being born and bred in the US. Like 1800s is old to me. Like you see a house with like 1810, a plaque on it that says 1810, and we're all like, oh, that was around for my great grandma. Wow. And then you go to the fucking UK and it's like 980 AD. What the fuck? It's mind-blowing. We have no way to conceptualize that until we go and see it as an American, because there's nothing. I mean, unless you find ancient native burial grounds or something, nothing is that old. It's very odd. I've told you the story of visiting my good friend Millie's father's house for the first time. Her little British father answered the door looking like fucking, like a UK version of Mr. Rogers, his little sweater, and he answered the door and he Good, hello there, lass. Would you like to come in? I do believe my house is older than your country. To which it was. Millie now lives in it. Her house is older than America. Wild. Oh, Nick, you read my mind. The moment I said I'd be an apple tree, all I thought of was fucking Wizard of Oz. How would you like it if someone picked something off you? Oh my god, I'm a Pisces born in the year of the dragon. What does that make me? A water snake? I'm a water moccasin. No, a water lizard. What's a water? What about those? Oh my god, I'm Godzilla. Ah! Girls, take your titties out. Bitches, I'm fucking Godzilla. Suck it, I win. It was very zen for me. That's why I like watching that. The care, and I know you know, penis, but the care and the respect for the huge fucking fish and just all the different pieces of it and the intricacy with how they carve them and break them down it's like magic to me. I think it's so cool. Or a Magikarp's cuter. I'd take a Magikarp. But I think I'm a dragon. Is a Magikarp dragon? I never got to play Pokemon, so I genuinely don't know. I just know what Magikarp looks like. Magikarp was the one that looks like a little goldfish, right? Chinese dragons are usually lords of the oceans and rivers. There you go. That kind of makes sense. Or you could do an Adam and Eve with an apple and snake. That's what I was just saying, is I'd become an apple tree if one of you promises to be a snake on my branches. There's an old fort around me from pre-World War I that the army just up and abandoned. The country restored it as a park. Shit is so cool. I got to kind of experience that when I was I believe it was when I went to Germany. I confuse it because we literally went up into the Alps, into like the mountain ranges. And when you're up there climbing and like hiking, you can literally accidentally be in Italy and then be in Austria and Germany. And so sometimes I confuse where I was, but I think I was in Germany. But we found I always forget the word. The like human ditches that they carve into the land to hide in. What are not barracks. What's the word? I always forget it and I don't know why. You guys are going to say it immediately and it's going to drive me crazy. Trenches. Thank you. They were trenches from multiple different wars that had happened up there. And it was really fucking surreal to just be like hiking around in my little Lululemon exercise gear where just like thousands of people probably were slaughtered over what? Very fucking surreal. That shit is wild. But it's so important, I think, to see and experience. Because as an American, I just have no scope on that. There's nothing like it. We have stuff that's terrible and stuff, but like, you know what I mean. Just build your home on an ancient burial ground. I think my home might be on a few bodies, to be honest. I don't know. Two Godzillas, CK Pisces is a two fish. It is, that's true. It is two fish. It's like yin and yang, right? When it evolves as a dragon type, Magikarp. I'll take it. Gyarad. I'm gonna look it up. Gyarados. Oh, I take that. That's cool. I think I saw that in like Pokemon Snap. I've played a few Pokemon offshoot games. Just as a kid, my mom thought it was a gimmick, so I wasn't allowed to play. Dude, have you ever seen these people that draw like realistic versions of Pokemon? Hold on. So like, they're wild. I love them. I actually have a Pokemon poster I bought at TwitchCon from an artist because it's so beautiful. It's a fairy dragon that is an underwater creature that like, I can't remember the name of it, but the picture's gorgeous, but it's like one of these realism pictures where someone takes a Pokemon and puts it into real life. It's stunning, even though I've literally never played Pokemon itself. This is however you say the name, Gyarados. Gyarados. Artistic interpretation. People are crazy talented, my dudes. What the fuck? So cool, though. I'm just so impressed by people that do shit like this. Like, that is stunning. It's Gyarados. Oh, I could say Gyarados? Gyarados. Dratini? It might be Dratini. Hold on. Dratini? What's Dratini's evolution? Hold on. Maybe? It looked kind of like, it was like that color of a dragon. I wish I knew where I have it. I think I have it somewhere tucked away because it's not framed. I wish I knew where the fuck it was and I would just show it to you because it's beautiful. But basically the picture is like looking down at a pond and like a down view, straight down. There's a deer drinking at the edge of the pond and all you see is like the kind of vague image of that dragon, whatever, under the water of the pond. Milotic. I don't think it was that one. I think it looked more like that. Man, I wish I knew where it was in my house. It might have been that guy. I remember it was like that color, but it's under the water. It's just a stunning Dragonite. Is that Dragonite? I think it might. Does Dragonite go underwater? That one seems the most familiar, especially because of the cute little antennas. But like I'm saying, it's like a realistic, so it's huge. It's like 50 times the size of the deer, and all you see is like this kind of image of it rising, but it's still underwater. It's a stunning picture. I just don't know where it is to even look for it to show you it. I have it somewhere to frame it. It's beautiful, though. The pic with horns is fan art. Which one? So this is Dragonair, right? With the little wings. Is this more accurate? This one? It looked like this guy. If this was like underwater, I would say it was like that. But I want to say it was is that a fairy type? I want to say it was fairy type. Man, I really wish I knew where it was. That bothers me. It'll have to come to me. I think it was that one then, because the guy explained it all to me. I even told him, I'm like, I know nothing about Pokemon other than the art's really cool and I enjoy it. And I like your art. Please let me buy it. Imagine the first fisherman who found out the evolution between Magikarp and Gyarados. You know what? I think it's time for me to retire. Like this instant, I know. What up, Pitsy? How are you? I want to look up. So it's Dragonite or Dragonair? Dragonite. I was gonna see if there was like a realistic art of it. Maybe. Dude, Dragonite is huge. Wouldn't that be weird if I found the picture? No. I think that might be it, though. It was just its back underwater, which is why it's hard for me to identify. You got a beautiful mind. Cute. I love people's fan art. These are really cute. Good morning, Sick. How are you? Oh, there are no dragon fairy types. Dragon is weak to fairy. Okay, maybe I just thought, I don't know. I feel like I'm just feeding information that's going to get us nowhere because I know nothing. I'm not smart enough. Those ones are more accurate. Okay, I'm going to keep that up and I'll have to find that picture and I'm going to identify it because I know you'll like it. Do you guys want to watch this video? Hold on. We're blowing time until Vis joins us for Borderlands, but Might threw this at me last night and I watched it this morning and it's fucking great. It is some of the cast of Hell of a Boss recording the pilot episode for the first time. So they're still like feeling out their voices for the characters and shit, but Blitzo is Blitzo across the board and steals the show in my opinion, and it's just really funny. It's good. It's amazing. It's probably a few hours, no big deal. 6 hours later, they sound like they've been gargling glass, and what do they say? Oh yeah, same time tomorrow, literally. Yeah, that's a lot of the voice actors I know. Or like, I remember watching the special features for, Corpse Bride, and I can't remember her name. She's a very, very famous actress, though. She voices Victoria.
I'm going to fuck you.
If you guys know what I'm talking about, slur me.
Satan's cock.
Thank you for subbing to class, keeping the class alive, Jesus fucking Christ, and giving an anus swings for 49 months.
It's a fucking long time, bro. Appreciate you. Thank you. Holy shit. Balls. At that tier 2. Thank you.
Whoever voiced Victoria in The Corpse Bride, I can't remember her name, but I'm really bad with names. She's a really prolific actress, and they were asking her just about the experience. And if you've never seen The Corpse Bride, it's Tim Burton claymation, stop action, whatever. And The main character is a guy named Victor, and it's voiced by Johnny Depp. And Johnny Depp and Victoria play opposite each other. And the chick who played Victoria said she never met Johnny Depp. She was never, ever in the same building as him during the recording of that entire fucking movie. And I feel like I've heard that similar versions of that over and over and over by different people. Like, you're often just times completely alone. I feel like it would be more fun with more people, but it's probably complicated. I don't know. I know nothing about voice acting. I only know what I'm told by my friends who do it. It sounds like hell. Like, pure hell. It looks fun. Sounds like hell. My dogs are being weird. Sorry, where the fuck did my music go? Ma'am. Found it. Fuck, that was loud. That is his natural voice. Fuck yeah. If you look up the actors who did Ed, Ed, and Eddie, Eddie's VA looks just like Eddie. Like if Eddie was an adult. No shit. Hold on. I used to watch that. I accidentally just got rid of our music. Don't worry about it. I've never used these pockets, but I thought it was funny. That's the pocket we get. What is that? What's gonna go in there? It's not a fucking pocket. I don't know. Why? Literally, ID and credit card for burial. That's literally my little wallet, my little, what are they? Oh god, those wallets that everybody got sponsored by for a while, the like anti-scan through things, that will fit in there. Maybe. That pocket. I know. It's just, it's funny. I was like, oh my god, I forgot I had a pocket and tried to put my phone in there. I was like, wow, that's funny. How is that a fucking tampon, right? Tampon, ID card. What else does a woman need? We don't need pockets. It might ruin my silhouette. I think they're leopard print, but they do look like scales. Are they? I don't know. What are they? I can't tell because there's no light. I think it's cheetah print or something. Yeah. They're very comfortable. Ridge wallets, that one. I have one of those. That'll fit in there. That's about it. It's so rare to find leggings with a good pocket. It's especially like, I already have to search for extra tall. And then on top of that, trying to find a pocket. My god, it's a fucking nightmare. They're very comfortable. Big complaint though. If anybody wants, I got them on Amazon. They're cheap. I'm not a fan of this. What is this? I don't know why. It just feels like my pants aren't done in the front. Yeah, it's a weird cut. And like when you sit down, it cuts into your belly a little bit weird, and it just feels weird. I think I'm just used to, right? The V-font fucking sucks! This is my first, I didn't realize it when I bought them. It's literally like a layover. Like, it's just built in. But it's not my favorite. It's cute, but it feels weird. I think I'm just used to, I mean, what pants do this? We're all used to pants that do that. It's not my favorite. Go lower? I mean, then I'm gonna have like a dick crotch. What? Maybe? But then, like, what's that? What do I do with that? It's because I have a short waist, okay? It's where I keep my balls. Yeah, they're cute pants. I did get them on Amazon. Extra long. They're great. But like that, it's not, it just feels interesting. It just feels different. It's just weird. Just a weird cut. Fashion's never meant to be practical. It's not. It's not. They're warm though. So that's... Scrutinizing Katie's pants. I mean, no shit. There's a lot of bitches and people in here who are just as tall as me and looking for very similar clothes. I'm not sponsored by any of this, but as a tall, weirdly shaped person, when I find shit that fits well, I try to like tell, like, I found it. Like, I got bras because Viata found some that are actually comfortable and don't have underwire. Like, we share tips with each other, and I just want to be straight up. Like, that's weird. That weird little is just like, I want to adjust it because it's 2 pieces of fabric just right there in the front, and it feels odd. But they're cute. Talls and shorts, really, unless you're like 5'5" mannequin size, we all get fucked. Yep. So when you're already looking for something that's super short or super tall, getting a pocket on top of it, oh my god. it's asking a lot. Unfortunately. Did I get those ones, ClassyKatie? I feel like I did. I got some new thigh highs. I feel like I did because I got some new thigh highs that actually, I mean, thigh highs. A thigh high on me, it goes to like here. And that's like raking that shit up. I can get it to maybe like right there. Height sucks. You couldn't because it's literally 2 pieces of fabric. That's the weird part. You know what I mean? It's not like, do you see what I mean? It's got a fabric under it. So like, if you cut one off, it continues around. You know what I'm saying? It's like they took a piece of fabric, sewed it onto the actual legging parts, and then crisscrossed it in the front. So you've got this triangle right here of double fabric. It makes no sense. I think it's just fashion. It's someone thought it was fashionable because it feels like the button on your top of your pants is undone all day. Like if you slouch or bend over, that's what it feels like. It's just this weird like. It's cute, but like not comfortable. Fashion is dumb. It is. Honestly, I watched a really interesting watched a podcast recently that talked about how fashion is basically doesn't really matter anymore because of fast fashion. Like, there's really no such thing anymore. It's just kind of like, it'd probably be good. Well, spandex is good for eating, my dudes. You wearing denim to eat? This shit, I could fit another person in here. Are you kidding? Ooh, penis. Yeah, spandex is the best. Everything fits into spandex. Being an average height fat man, I feel your pain looking for clothes. Every pants I have, I had to shorten the legs for. I feel that. Nothing fits. Welcome this. I was literally just going to pull it up and dick around in it and like sell my shit. I'm a short guy, but I have a wide chest and shoulders. Always find it difficult to get the right fit for clothing. It's everybody. Like growing up, just being me, I truly was like, everybody hates tall people and we are the enemy of the state and no one makes clothes for us. And then growing up and having friends of all sizes, I'm like, no, clothes don't fit anybody. We're all fucking shooting in the dark at clothes at this point. Like, nothing fits. And we're all, like, trying to, change our bodies to fit clothes, which I think is fucked up. That's not the way it should be. Mother of dick. Spandex is not good for all of us. The pressure constriction aggravates me for my MS nerve tissue 100%. And honestly, spandex, you shouldn't, if you exercise or sweat a lot in spandex, you should change your clothes. I don't know how to put that. Spandex doesn't breathe, and it holds moisture and bacteria and smells against your body. So, like, when you work out in spandex, or you get sweaty, or you do anything active, you should change for your health. Not just, like, hygienically, because you're gonna fucking stink. For your health. It holds all that stuff against your body. And just keeps it. It doesn't breathe like cotton or, wool or whatever. Yeah, there's definitely a thing to it. Like, there's pros and cons. Oh my god, ClassyKatie. I got into sewing my own clothes when I was in high school. I had to because nothing fit. It was so, like, going to proms or going to a dance or, like, just trying to find a dress that was pretty was impossible when I was a kid. I feel like going to the mall was just a shot in the dark. Nothing fit me ever. If it was a cute, like, thigh-high dress, it would be above my ass. And maxi dresses just made me feel matronly. I wasn't into them at the time. I just felt, so my mom literally taught me how to sew. She was like, we're going to learn patterns because that's the only way you're going to be happy with anything. And I did. I sewed a lot of my own dresses, and I still do it to this day. It's fun. It's kind of liberating because you can, like, if you're, especially people that have odd bodies like myself, where I'm, like, all legs and not a lot of torso, you can take patterns and piece them together. So, like, if your upper body's a size, like my upper body's like a size 6 or something because I have nothing. I'm just bones and some sad titties. But my lower body's like a 10. You can take those 2 pattern pieces and fucking chalk them together. as opposed to buying a size 10 and having to get it tailored to the rest of your body just because you got a fat ass. It's awesome. It's like learning how to take stuff in and like actually like putting on something that fits you, not you trying to fit something else. Oh, it's freeing. Shit feels great. Oh no shit. I've been sewing since I was 6 or 7, but I'm so out of practice. Same. I've been getting back into it. I took a long time off. I feel that. It's like riding a bike though. It comes back pretty quick. What up, Smooth? I hope you're doing well, Honeybean. As a male leading NB, it's a challenge. Do you find it's a challenge? Like, can you elaborate? I'm genuinely just like, what? Because it's a challenge for all of us, but I'm genuinely like, what is the NB struggle? Is it finding clothes that aren't like excessively masculine, excessively feminine, and make you feel like you're just identifying outside of what you actually are? Or like, is it, do you know what I mean? I'm just curious. I'm trying to word that in a way that doesn't come off as like judgy. You know I'm not being judgy. Genuinely curious though. Being able to tailor clothes is crazy, and it's expensive. Congrats, chat. Doctors say it's fine to pee in the shower. That's news? Okay. I'll take that. NB, non-binary. I learned that. Non-binary. So, as far as I know, NB is a way of just phonetically pronouncing NB, non-binary. I learned that. I love having a community that's all over the place because you guys are awesome that way. Yes, and finding clothes that fit body shapes. I have broad as fuck shoulders. Yeah, you've got the opposite of me with hips. I feel that. Yeah, my hips jut through everything. I feel like my hips like poke out of clothes. I don't know. I'm genuinely. I. Is it because where the shower water goes? Don't waffle stomp in your shower. That's disgusting. Don't do that. You kids and your lingo. I love it. I love learning the new lingo. I wouldn't even say it's new. It's just I'm unfamiliar with. I'm short and have a bigger waistline. Anything past 30 waist doesn't have short legs. I have your opposite problem. See, this is what I'm saying. Clothes aren't made for people. Because I have like a tiny waist and fucking like ridiculous hips. And so if I buy something to fit my hips, it just goes straight up and fits nothing. Like I've got inches around my waist. If I buy something that fits my waist, I'm a sausage in too tight of a casing. I feel you. It's just the opposite issue. No, clothes aren't made for people. They're made for a mannequin. I swear to God, they're not made for humans. Because the humans aren't shaped like mannequins. Slurm, I feel like a lot of people have that issue with boobs. All my girlfriends growing up with big boobs, they were like, anything I buy that fits my tits is just now a balloon on my body, and it takes away any definition of any part of me, and I look like I'm wearing a muumuu. I always felt like that's where spandex can come in. It's kind of nice because it does like tuck into the areas. But like, yeah, I feel that way with, I remember growing up and trying to find shirts that were just long enough. Because even though I have a short torso, it's still fairly long because I'm tall. Trying to find shirts that were long, I would like go get an extra large shirt and they never got any longer. They just went out. And I'm like, I understand there are people to go out, but there are people that go this way too. We got to have both. And they're not made for people. I've cried in more dressing rooms than I have anywhere else in my life. Clothes aren't made for people. We're all forcing ourselves into shit. I wear stretchy stuff because it fits everything. Guys, gals, and non-binary pals, exactly. No sub 30 legs. See, I have a 35-inch inseam. I'm not kidding. We are literally yin and yang of the same issue. Finding a 35-inch inseam is a miracle of God under $100 for jeans. Impossible. Literally. And if the jeans don't have spandex, they are not going to fit my ass. Ever. I'm going to end up with that huge gap around my waist or a sausage in two type. Like, I won't be able to sit or breathe in them. It's just annoying. Clothes aren't made for people. Yeah, Socrates, you fucking get it. It sucks. It's the complete opposite. It's like, where the fuck are these, like, we're out there, we exist, there's more than one of us, what the fuck? I mean, no shit sick, so, this was a bit ago, but I measured myself, because I was genuinely just curious, how, like, am I actually all legs, or am I just really tall and I feel like I'm all legs? So I measured from the top of my ass crack to the ground, and then from the top of my ass crack to the top of my shoulders. From my ass crack to my shoulders, my torso length is the exact same size as Vissy, my girl Vissy, who I play games with every day. Vissy, baby girl, how tall are you? Like, no joke, Vissy hands me down things. I have beautiful dresses and tops from Vissy that are handed down. 5'2". I'm literally 10 inches taller than her. We have the exact same torso. That's how, like, I'm like a Tim Burton character with meat on it. It's just legs. That's it. My legs are twice as long exactly of my, like, upper body torso. It's bizarre. Just a weird body, but everybody's got it. Some people have dumb long torsos and really short legs. Some people, like, have all their weight, hold their weight in the middle. I hold mine all in my ass and thighs. We're all different, and none of it's wrong. Clothes are wrong. Clothes aren't made for us. They're trying to get us to change our bodies to fit clothes, and I think that's fucked up. Well, I have that. I mean, some of us are just gonna have thick, like, life-saving thick thighs for the rest of our lives. That's our cross to bear. I will die with fat legs. That will happen, and that's okay. With my stereotypical heavy Italian frame, finding something flattering is difficult, and sometimes I feel like I want to feel flattering, damn it. I feel that spiritually. Like, sometimes I just want to feel cute. Is that so? Like, the majority of the time, comfortable. Like, I am leggings, sweatshirt, sweats, whatever. Like, just keep me warm in the winter. But sometimes I just want to feel cute and not struggle for it. I feel that. I feel that. But it's all of us. I mean, it's all the bodies. No one is having a great time shopping for clothes. I feel like there's like 1% of people that are mannequin size or sample size or whatever. And the rest of us, Slurm, that's, I feel your partner's pain on it. I mean, I gave up. I don't know about your partner. I haven't owned denim or jeans or slacks or anything outside of leggings in like probably 10 years. I stopped because I literally felt like that. I was like, no. These companies are trying to get me to be anorexically skinny to fit into their clothes. Fuck that. I feel fine the way I am. None of their clothes fit me. Fuck them. I'm going to wear spandex because it fits everything all the time. Whereas I remember like growing up and wearing denim, and this is, I mean, can only speak to personal experience. I know this is like very much a assigned female at birth thing, but our weight no shit. If you are assigned female at birth, your weight can fluctuate up to 12 pounds in a 24-hour period just from water. Holding it and releasing it, holding it and releasing it. So literally you can wake up first thing in the morning, put on some jeans, and they will fit like a dream, and in 2 hours, you can't breathe. And it was fucking mind-numbing. It's so irritating. You were just like, sorry, I'm not drinking water or breathing today because my jeans fit in the morning and I don't want to affect that. Whereas I can just put on leggings and I can literally go eat a Thanksgiving dinner and feel like it's great. And that, I get that's a privilege to some people. This spandex bothers them, but I'm going to be on that because fuck that. I just don't want to think about my clothes all day and how they're feeling on my body. See, and that's the problem. Like, they're so expensive. I feel like I shouldn't, even if I could afford it, I wouldn't buy myself expensive clothes because I'm hard on my clothes. Side note, though, I realized this is what I wore the last time I went to Montana, and that strange man that looked like Colonel Sanders asked me if I was Antifa. Just side note. Okay, game. Let me open this shit. You'd have to lose your which, I mean, no shit knives. Trust me. No, not for lack of trying. I'm never losing ass. Like, the same way a lot of our bodies are, some of us, we are genetically, like, built to be a certain way. Some people are just gonna have huge fucking boobies, and their weight's gonna go to their boobies no matter what. Me, it's ass and thighs, and unless I literally stopped eating, I'm going to have ass, and that's fine, though. Like, that's just my body, and I've come to terms with that, and that's okay. I refuse to think I need to change for clothes to fit me. Fuck that. That's not my role. 5'5", 215, Doc looks at me and asks if I'm hiding weights in my pockets because I look closer to one. Well, it's probably muscle. Muscle. I mean, no shit. Have you ever seen the comparison of like 1 pound of muscle to 1 pound of fat? It is drastic. No shit, it's like this. Muscle versus fat, but they weigh the same. Because fat molecules blow up huge and hold water. So they swell enormous. But no, it's actually pretty on par. It's about 3 times. 1 pound of muscle versus 1 pound of fat. So muscular people and that's where BMI doesn't matter. This is why BMI is bullshit, because BMI does not account for this. BMI is just that number, the weight. That's it. Your weight and your height. It's calculation. That's it. It does not account for the fact that are those 215 pounds fat or muscle? It doesn't account for that. So like Arnold Schwarzenegger at his most stacked was considered morbidly obese according to BMI. It's literally because of that. It's wild. Jesus Christ, Bong. Get the fuck up. Almost knocked that shit over. No worries, Knives. No worries. Take your time. We'll probably just fuck around. I mean, we're at the very beginning. We still need to grab stuff. Quests and stuff. Even if you decide to make your own clothes and make a dress form to perfectly match all of your measurements, it still doesn't always work because bodies move. 100%. Bodies move. The weight fluctuation. I know I'm not the only one here. That it is crazy how much my body can change just in one day and feel different based on what I eat and what I drink all day. It's disgusting, and it drives you nuts because you're like, this fit this morning, and now everything feels kind of tight and weird because I drank water. I refuse to wear clothes that make me feel that way. No, absolutely not. It would be psychotic. It would be unhealthy. I don't encourage anybody to do that. I recently commissioned some anti-fascist art, and I'm struggling with where to put it that won't make people call me Antifa, as if that's an actual organized group and not a shorthand. No shit, because when this guy asked me, like, are you Antifa? At the time, I do the deer in headlights, like, no. I just wanted him to go away, because he literally looked like Colonel Sanders. Pure white suit, white cowboy hat. He kept repeating God Bless America on the jukebox. It was really weird. It was a really weird night in Montana. And I will be like, I'm anti-fascist, yes. Like, I'm prepared now, if that happens again. I think I'm the middle one, Socrates. I know there's like endomorph, ectomorph, and mesomorph. I think, I've looked at that before. I think I'm the middle one. My doctor has described my body as athletic. I think that just means I have a tendency to hold a lot of muscle. Like, I grow muscle really easily, i.e. thighs. They're monstrous. Where's my lighter? Mesomorph, yeah, I think I'm that one. Because but I'm not like, I feel like the really thin athletic build that's really muscular is like Jessica Biel. If you remember Jessica Biel from like Blade or something, she just has beautiful muscle tone, but she's also extremely lean. Whereas I don't get lean like that, but I can get muscle tone really easily. I think that's the middle one, right? I think I'm about that. Cheers. There's Discord. I swear, Vis, I've been trying to open Discord for like 10 minutes. I had to crash it. I had to do the Force Task Manager crash. It thought it was open and it wasn't. Excuse me, that was hot. At 22, I had a doctor say, I'd like to see you below 200. My response was, I'd like to see the Bahamas. I had a doctor tell me when I was in my late 20s that I should weigh like 135 to 140 pounds. I found a new doctor. Like, no shade at anyone who's tall and 135. I'm probably a good 165. Where's it gonna come from? I literally did this. I'm like, from fucking where? Like, do you want me to starve my heart to the point where it eats itself? From where am I losing 30 pounds? That? Same. I know intrinsically that is not a healthy weight for me. 135. That's for 6 foot. But according to BMI, the doctor didn't call me obese. They just, like, as part of the appointment, they were like, yeah, and your BMI is a little bit over. It probably should be around 123, which would make you 135 to 140 pounds. I was like, wow. I couldn't even hold it. I straight up asked them, I'm like, how can you say that? I have fat on my body. I don't think I have 30 pounds of fat on my body. I'm going to be honest. I don't think I do. Where is that coming from? I love this song. It is. Unless you're naturally thin. And that's what I mean. Like, there are some people who, like me, in the opposite direction. Like, my body holds a nice little layer of body fat on it to keep me warm in the winter or whatever. Some people just cannot hold weight. There's nothing wrong with you. You're genetically disposed that way. I'm genetically disposed to hold more weight. Some people are genetically disposed to hold even more weight. Like, nothing against that body type. It's just, I'm not going to be that. That's insane. I literally have to let my body eat muscle mass off of me. It was just one of the grossest. I mean, and I've told you the story of my sister going in. She went on an airplane ride, and when she got off the airplane, one of her legs had 3 to 4 pitting edema, which basically means she could poke her finger into her leg about 3 to 4 millimeters and come out, and the dent would stay, which is often a sign of a blood clot happening, something horrible, fluid retention. She goes to a doctor, and the doctor straight up didn't even look at her, looks at her weight on the chart held in front of her, makes like a gross face and goes, well, you're just obese. You guys have seen my sister. I don't even, like, what? I've never worked with any medical professionals that are like this in my life, but I have experienced them. I've heard your guys' stories. It's disgusting. At your height, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I think most of us here who have dealt with weight issues or whatever, we all dream of being that tall, lithe, elf-like, just zero body fat person. But then our conscious self comes in and goes, I love cookies and feeling good. I would never. That's so scary to be like, I can't even imagine. I'd be nothing. I'd be no muscle. There'd be no muscle. I'd have to let my body eat itself. Me too, Scott. Bird, like barely a bird. I can't get upper body strength for the fucking life of me. Like, I can do planks and like 5 push-ups probably. And I try. But my lower body, like, I can squat and deadlift. I can take, like, a year off of deadlifting and come back and deadlift 235 like it's nobody's business. I just hold muscle in certain areas of my body really, really well without fucking training them. And then other areas, like my arms, like, I still can't bench more than the bar. I'm like, and that's, pec muscles and shit, too. I just got nothing there. I eat a lot, but I have to. I have a fairly active lifestyle. I'm 5'10", 10 and a half, 250, 260, and I've made peace that I'll never be below 200. Weight doesn't dictate health. I know I don't need to say that, and I know, okay, Discord's, okay, I'm finally in Discord, Vis. Weight doesn't dictate health. That's it. I was going to elaborate, but I don't need to. I used to literally not gain weight. I miss it. I know a lot of people like that, and they would kill to gain weight. It's always greener on the other side, right? 6'1", my healthy weight's around 180 to 220. See, and how is 6 foot 130? I mean, that's crazy. I still don't understand that. That feels like if BMI, the lowest end of BMI possible. That just seems insane to me. Squat Academies, I know, I call it Squat Academy all the time. Squat University is great. If you've never seen Squat University, I've talked about it a few times, not sponsored, not an ad, but I do go to them because, like, I do a lot of at-home workouts. I hate being in a gym. It's gross. It's dirty. People won't stop talking to me. I hate all of that. But Squat Academy, like, for instance, there's a lot of programs out there that are like, you must squat this exact way. You line your feet with your feet apart exactly. Your feet must be facing forward. Your heels and toes must be touching the ground all the way down and all the way up. And that's not, like, that's going to drive a lot of people away from squatting because our hip bones rotate differently. Our knee bones rotate differently. We have different size hips. Our feet bones rotate differently. Like, human bodies are not static. Period. And Squat University goes into that in a fun way where they're like, the really easy way to be like, this is the kind of squat you should do if your leg bends this way, and if your leg bends this way, find the most comfortable way to do the safest form of a squat or a deadlift or a push-up or whatever. And I love that. Because there's no static bodies out there. We're all so different. The way, I mean, you guys see it, like, for instance, if you've seen someone with those little dimples on their lower back, that's actually, that is the bone of their pelvis pulling their skin away from the surface of the body, because their pelvis is a little bit more tilted than most people's. So if you've ever seen, like, Robert Downey Jr. is a really good example of this. He just has this kind of spine. When he stands, it's got a pretty distinct curve to it, and his butt kind of pokes out. I bet he's got butt dimples. It's just a pelvis tilt. It's cute as fuck, but it's just a different kind of pelvis tilt, and that kind of person can't squat like me because I don't have that pelvis tilt. It's just different. It's cool. It's different. That's it. Hello, Vissy, my love. I see you. Let me turn my music off. Turn you up and get this fucking game on. Where is my Steam? Don't be a bitch. Used to want to gain weight, so I wasn't a stick, so I guess you're kind of right. It's always greener. Always, man. It's always greener on the other side. That's the one thing I've learned growing up is, like, I might have despised my body the vast majority of my life, but there's so many people out there that want my body, and there's people's bodies out there that I want, and they hate their body. And etc. It's crazy. I don't understand it. It's human psychology, right? Always want what we don't have. I lift 10 kg dumbbells, and that's all I want to do. I don't want to bodybuild. I just want to be strong and well-toned. That's basically what I am for, too. It's not that many days. It's honestly, like, 2 of the full days I will be... What happened to my mic? Oh, no. My dogs hit it. That's what happened. It's not that many days. 2 of the days is fully driving, so it's really not that bad. And I'm excited to have good food. Viss, are you going to stay live? Yay! Cheers. I'm gonna raid into this. Poomsta's in your ear right now with knives. Just so's you know. Hold up. And then, if anybody's, like, you know, interested or whatever, I know I talk about it every day, but we do have movie night every night. If you want to come hang out and watch movies in the Discord, that's in, like, an hour and a half-ish. So, feel free to join if you like. If not, I won't see you here until, you know, the weekend. Sunday-ish. Which is sad and weird. But in the meantime, I'm going to jump off Discord so I don't hear you double on your channel, and I'm going to raid you, okay? I love you. Bye. Bye, knives. Happy gobble gobble! Happy Turkey Day, my dudes. Take care of yourselves, drink water, make sure to clean your fucking water bottle and wash your hands, pee after sex, eat delicious foods. Take an antacid. You don't need to have, like, fucking just, you know, heartburn. I don't know. Love your furry babies. Are you eating a Q-tip? Are you eating a fucking Q-tip? No, he's not eating a Q-tip. We're fine. Love your fur babies, and I'll see you guys, I mean, probably this weekend. Probably Sunday. We'll make up for Faded Friday. Bring music and stuff. Acid... Cheers.